What is a WTA 1000? The tournament level where Eala first broke through. The WTA 1000 tournaments are the most important on the tennis calendar after the Grand Slams. There are 10 events on the schedule for 2026, starting with the Qatar TotalEnergies Open. Eala is headed for another major test, playing her first WTA 1000 tournament of the year at the Qatar TotalEnergies Open in Doha. Eala nabbed a spot in the main draw which starts Sunday, February 8th, joining the likes of top-seeded Iga Swiatek, Australian Open champion Elena Rybakina, defending champion Amanda Anisimova, and Coco Gauff among others. Before Eala takes it up a notch in terms of competition, we take a quick look at all the WTA 1000 tournaments this year and why they are the most important after the 4 Grand Slams. There are a total of 10 WTA 1000 tournaments in the calendar year this 2026, starting with the Qatar Open and ending with the Wuhan Open in China. Within the 10 events, some run for 2 weeks and include a larger pool of players. February and March will hold 2 WTA 1000s each, with the Dubai Duty-Free Tennis Championships immediately following the Qatar Open. Meanwhile, March will have the BNP Paribas Open in Indian Wells and the Miami Open, where Eala notably reached the semifinals last year. These first 4 tournaments are all on hard surface. In April, the Mutua Madrid Open will kick off the clay tournaments for WTA 1000, followed by the Italian Open in May. The WTA 1000 returns to the hard court ahead of the US Open with the National Bank Open in Canada and the Cincinnati Open in August. China also hosts 2 WTA 1000s with the China Open and the one in Wuhan in October, highlighting the Asian swing. Notably, there are no WTA, or ATP, for that matter, 1000 tournaments on grass. What makes a WTA 1000 tournament? A big part of classifying tournaments in the WTA Tour revolves around points and prize money. 4 WTA 1000 TIFs, a total of 1,000 points, are up for grabs for the winner, meaning success at such a high-level tournament will result in big leaps in the WTA rankings. In comparison, Grand Slam champions get 2,000 points toward the rankings. Meanwhile, prize money is also significant. The Qatar and Dubai WTA 1000 this year both have a prize commitment of over $4 million, with 2025 Qatar champion Amanda Anisimova pocketing $597,000. However, the prize money depends on the tournament, as the BNP Paribas Open was the most lucrative WTA 1000 last year with a total prize commitment of almost $9.5 million. While it isn't necessarily set in paper, WTA 1000 tournaments also need attention to detail to ensure the quality of competition. From high-end infrastructure to an elite player field with the presence of top 10 players, WTA 1000 tournaments call for only the best in tennis tournaments. Who gets to play in a WTA 1000 tournament? Like all events in the WTA Tour, direct entrants are mostly based on player rankings in the WTA, with the top 50 players typically receiving invites to play in the main draw of the tournament. However, organizers may also extend wildcard invites to chosen players, like how Eala initially gained entry into the main draw of the Miami Open in 2025. Depending on schedule and health conditions, players can also opt to pull out from the tournament, opening up slots for lower-ranked players in the WTA Tour. Last year, Eala appeared in 5 WTA 1000 tournaments: Miami, Madrid, Rome, Montreal, and Wuhan. Luisa Morales is a sports writer with a special interest in promoting women's sports. Her coverage highlights include the UAP, PVL, Southeast Asian Games, and the FIBA World Cup. She also follows Eala, the Philippine women's national football team, and mixed martial arts. What is a WTA 1000? The stage where belief gets loud enough to be heard. In women's tennis, not all tournaments speak at the same volume. Some whisper promise, some murmur potential, and a select few roar so loudly that the whole sport has no choice but to listen. A WTA 1000 tournament belongs to that last category. It is not just an event on the calendar, it is a proving ground, a pressure chamber, a spotlight that refuses to dim. To ask, what is a WTA 1000? is to ask about more than ranking points or prize money. It is to ask where reputations are tested, where careers bend sharply upward or snap under the weight of expectation. It is also to ask about moments, those rare, electric weeks when a new name stops being a curiosity and starts becoming a threat. For Alex Eala, that stage mattered a lot. The architecture of the elite. The WTA Tour is built like a pyramid. At its base are ITF tournaments, where players learn how to win for a living. Above that sit WTA 125s and 250s, then 500s, each step adding stronger opponents, higher stakes, and harsher scrutiny. Near the very top, just below the Grand Slams, are the WTA 1000 tournaments. There are only a handful of them each season. Indian Wells, Miami, Madrid, Beijing, Cincinnati. Events with massive stadiums, global broadcasts, and draws stacked with the best players in the world. These tournaments offer 1,000 ranking points to the champion, hence the name, and those points can change a career's trajectory overnight. But the points are only the visible reward. The invisible ones matter more. At a WTA 1000, you are no longer protected by anonymity. You share locker rooms with Grand Slam champions. Your matches are analyzed by commentators who know your backhand weaknesses and your second-serve tendencies. You don't just play tennis, you perform it under lights bright enough to expose doubt. Where the giants walk. A WTA 1000 draw is unforgiving. There are no easy rounds, no gentle introductions. Even a first match can pit a rising teenager against a top 20 player with 10 years of tour experience. This is where the tour's hierarchy lives in plain sight. For established stars, WTA 1000s are about consolidation, defending ranking, sending reminders. For everyone else, they are about intrusion, about breaking into a space not yet meant for you. That's why breakthroughs at this level feel different. Winning a smaller tournament proves you can win matches. Winning, or even making a deep run, at a WTA 1000 proves you can survive context. The crowd, the cameras, the expectations, the sense that you are trespassing on sacred ground. The courage to arrive early. Alex Eala's story fits naturally into this setting because WTA 1000 tournaments reward audacity. They reward players who arrive before the world thinks they're ready. Eala did not grow up surrounded by the traditional power centers of tennis. Her journey required distance, sacrifice, and imagination. When she stepped onto a WTA 1000 court, she wasn't just playing an opponent, she was carrying a question with her. Do I belong here already, or am I just visiting? That question is at the heart of every breakthrough. At this level, belief must be louder than doubt. You don't get time to settle in. The opponent across the net is already settled. She's already been here. She knows how the ball flies at night, how the crowd turns restless, how momentum swings like a door in the wind. For a young player, holding ground in that storm is an act of quiet rebellion. Pressure as a teacher. What makes a WTA 1000 so formative is not just the quality of opposition, but the density of pressure. Matches are played back-to-back. Recovery windows are short. Media obligations grow heavier the better you perform. Every win brings not relief, but a tougher test. This environment teaches fast, or it overwhelms.